Hi everyone, it's Lisa. Thanks for coming back to my channel. I'm doing another art journal page for you. I'm really getting into this, so I hope you like it. I'm working in one of my journals that I have some blank pages in, and I wanted to create my background with some texture, and I wanted to create my background with some tissue paper. So I'm not sure if I did way too much, didn't need to use the tissue paper, but this is how it went. I'm using a stamp on the bottom, and I'm using my Archival ink, and it is a Crackle stamp, and it reminded me of like desert ground, dry and hard. And so then I thought, ooh, I should maybe get out some of my cactus stamps and dies that I haven't used. And that's how the piece was born. So use my Archival ink, stamp that on the bottom, and then I'm going to use a stencil excuse me, and also the Archival ink on the top. This stencil is a Crackle stencil by Prima, and I will try to list everything below. Just leave me a comment if I forget something and I'll get right back to you. I really like reading the comments, and please subscribe if you're liking my channel. I would love to have you. We're always trying to get that subscription number up. And I'm using one of these makeup brushes, and I will link them below too. They're great for stenciling, and I use them in almost every piece that I do. So I did both sides, both pages, and right now it's kind of looking like, ooh, what's going on here? But that's why I put down that tissue paper. Instead of pushing it back with gesso, I thought I would put tissue paper on it, and that would mute that background a little bit. And I thought that it would work, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm really getting into these art journal pages, and the ideas are just coming to me. I have some favorite ladies that I love watching. Vicky is one of my favorite YouTubers that I love, and she is so inspiring. So I will link her channel at the end, and you can check her out too. So just a plain piece of tissue paper, and I'm giving this a quick dry because I didn't want it to smear, and I'm putting it down with my matte gel. You could use matte medium, you could use any type of liquid-ish glue here, paste, and I'm just giving it a quick smooth. I'm not too worried about wrinkles, I'm just trying not to rip the tissue paper. It is kind of delicate. So I'm using this matte gel. I'm just trying to use up some of these products on my desk that are getting a little bit low so that I can start with some new stuff in the new year. So I like how that worked. I'm putting the matte gel over the top, and now we created a non-porous surface which we can use all types of mediums on. And it's important that you do let this dry. I'm pretty impatient, so I always use my heat tool. And I'm just gonna put my brush in some water while I do that so it doesn't get super hard on me. I was going to try is the key word, to create a sunset. So my thoughts were yellow and orange and purple and blue. So I just thought I would put some strips down here and go from there, see what happens. And I have two colors of brown that I'm going to use on the bottom, and that's going to be for the desert ground because I am going to use my cactus stamps and dies that I've had in my stash for years, and they are by Concord and 9th, and I will again let you know all the details on that. Using a brush, and I didn't want to mix those colors, so I was trying to be careful. Here I'm getting out an old art journal book, and I just kind of wanted to put that paint that was on my brush through a stencil to create another part of a background. I hate wasting all that paint, and so here I go with the purple and then going into the blue and smoothing that out, and it's pretty streaked for me, so I'm getting rid of that paint again on a stencil in my other art journal page. And you'll see how I work with it. Use baby wipe, going back and forth. And I just work with it until I get it the way I like it. And you have to remember, the art journal pages are just for you. You can share them with your friends or on YouTube like I have been doing, but they're really for you to get some inspiration, create, and have fun. And I really have been having fun. I will keep posting on Saturdays and see what happens. If no one's enjoying them, then I will probably stop, but we'll see what happens. Right now I'll post an art journal page or something of that nature on Saturdays, an extra little video for the new year. And like I said, if I don't have any subscribers or comments or no one saying they like it, then I probably will stop. I will find something else that works. And of course I have my mixed media creations every Tuesday, and we have great response on those. Please check them out if you have not. I would love to have you. So back and forth, I'm just using my hands here with that paint, trying to get a sunset sky. Putting down a little bit of that brown on the bottom to create the cracked earth or the desert. And I just have parchment paper behind my pages there. I didn't want to get paint all over the back of my other pages. If you get a little bit, of course that's all right. But I just kind of like to be a little less messy, I guess. Still working with that background, and I had a lot of blue paint there. Having fun getting inky though, that's for sure. I really like it when I have ink all over my hands. It's just something crazy. Good fingerprinter. Okay, it's dry now, and I thought that it looked good. And you have to remember, you're going to put lots of elements on it and tie it all together. Here's a stencil that I got at a used craft sale, and I thought it kind of looked like Aztec pattern, kind of. And I really don't care for the stencil because it is quite raised, so it's hard to get through the little areas there. So I'm struggling with it a little bit. I hadn't used it before, but like I said, it was in one of those grab bag things from a used craft sale, so I thought I'd give it a try. And not my favorite, but I like the pattern that it's giving, and we'll go with it. And I used black embossing paste, another product that's in my stash that I'm using quite a bit lately, and just, using some things up. Here's some black heavy body Liquitex paint, and I'm going to add some water, and I'm going to do some black splatters on the background. I was trying to decide if I should do black and white both. In the end, I only did the black. I think I could have went black and white both, but it worked out. I'm happy with the page. So here I am trying to figure out how to do my cacti. And I've got these stamps, like I said, they're from Concord and Ninth. And I pulled out a bunch of green pattern paper that were part of a set. So I know that the colors all worked well together. And to me, they just screamed green cactus. So I am using my Misty and my Archival ink, and I'm just going ahead and stamping a few of the large ones and the round ones, and then I do a few small on a separate paper. Here's why I like using that Misty, because if you don't get a great impression, you can go back. It is one of my favorite tools in the craft room, that is for sure. So I will go ahead and stamp the big ones, the little ones on this paper. If we have extra, that's fine, of course. We can always just slip it into the back of the stamp set, and when we work with that stamp set again, you'll have some cacti that are already stamped out. I really liked the pattern paper here that I had chose. It looks really good in the end. So now I tried to use the dies to cut out the cacti, but you can see here it leaves like a border on it, and I didn't really want that border on it, so I decided I'm going to cut everything out with my scissors. I dug through my stash and I found these metal alphabet letters, and they were kind of a dull gray metal, so I painted them with some of that black heavy body paint by Liquitex, and I'm going to set them aside and let them dry. And my quote is, "Just be yourself." I thought that it was a little appropriate for when we're trying to change ourselves for the new year. We always try to come up with some, New Year's resolutions, things of that nature. I hear people talking about it when we're at different parties and such, and it's like, just be yourself. God made you for a reason, trust in Him. He's the one that made you how you are. So enjoy. Putting my cactus down with my matte gel and a brush, and I'm just kind of trying to get placement here. I didn't want them to go over the top of each other, but I wanted the cacti to be on both pages, so it got your eye moving around the two pages. Just kind of looking at placement. And I thought that was kind of nice. Now you can look at the background and it doesn't look too bad. I could tell it's a sunset and the ground is a desert, so I like it. Yep, we'll go ahead and stick everything down, and then I am sticking down those metal letters and putting down the sentiment that says, "Just be yourself." I think it's so important, and maybe it's an age thing. The older I'm getting to be, the more it comes true. I have all of that dry, and I did cut out some little flowers to put on the cactus there, and I think it was a great accent. They're a little yellow and white, and now I'm using my big brush pit markers, which I absolutely love, and doing some shading and shadowing on the cactus. The green color is Permanent Green Olive number 167. I will link the colors below. I could have possibly used a darker one, and I do use my brown also in the end to make it a little bit darker. I just didn't have a darker brown or green, so you use what you have. blending it with my finger, and when this ink dries, it will dry permanent. So I absolutely love these markers. A great thing to have in your stash if you're thinking about doing any of this art journaling or mixed media. I'm going to use them a lot on my mixed media pages also. Just adding that darker bit to the ground, giving those cacti some shadow, because they're going to cast a shadow even if it's sunset out, not strong sun. There is going to be a little shadow. And this is, like I said, my art journal page, and that's what I was thinking should happen. I like how it turns out, and I did pull that across the page, so I didn't want it to be one page separate than the other. I wanted it all to be together. I'm going to be going to Creativation in the middle of January, and it's in Phoenix. So maybe this was what my subconscious was telling me to do something with the desert. I've never been to Phoenix. I don't know that I'll be able to get out of the convention hall and see the surroundings very much. I believe it's going to be a very busy, fun, productive week, and I'm super excited to go. I'm going to talk to lots of different companies and see if they like my style and what I have to offer, and see if I can get some different people to network with and work with. I am adding some edging around the cacti now, and I'm using a Sharpie pen, and it does work nicely over that, over those elements. And I'm just sketching lines and adding little crisscrosses around the cacti, so it looks like they're a little spiky. I thought that looked really cute, a little finishing detail. And I went around the flowers. Something that I did not show you is I did put some pink centers in the middle of those flowers, and I used my Nuvo drops. And the color I'll list below. It's a nice pink crystal drop. I'm going to put those tissue papers, I guess they're parchment paper, under the back again, so I can do my black edge. I love how this frames any piece, whether it's art journal, mixed media, and I've even been using it sometimes on my cards too. I'm addicted to the black edge. It looks real nice, and I thought with these colors it really made the whole piece pop. And of course, my white gel pen. I use a Signo white gel pen, and I get it started on my finger there if it's not working well for me. And I'm just going here and there over the cacti and adding just a little white highlight. It just makes things pop. And I was wondering if I should go and do any on the letters. And as you can see, I did. I couldn't leave it alone. But I think if you started it and you didn't like it, you could quickly wipe it off with a damp towel. Well, we're almost done here. I have some still shots in the end. I hope you liked it. Comment, subscribe. Let me know what you're thinking about these Saturday pages, and let me know if you want to see more. I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. We'll see you again. Tuesday Mixed Media, Saturday Art Journal Pages.